afternoon. We are all welcome to today's class. Today we'll be looking at the magnitude, the factor of magnitude, and we'll determine the after we find the magnitude of each of the factor, we'll also determine the cross products, and we'll also move to cross products of the two factors. Then we'll look at it the way we can find the what we call the unit vector inside it and the direction of different of them. So let's look at it. Let me quickly share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can we all see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know why others are not joining. How many of us are able to share the link on our different platform? In our different campuses? Okay, let's write this question down. The question says, number one, find the magnitude of each vector. Vector A equals to 2i minus 4j plus 6k. Remember, the formula says, for us to solve this one solution, the magnitude is this. The formula says a squared b squared and c squared. So which is the same thing as, what is our a in this case? What represents a is 2 squared plus minus 4 squared plus 6 squared. So what do we have? We have it to be 4 plus 16 plus 36. So at the end of the day, we have square root of 56. We can still break square root of 56 down. 4 multiplied by 14 will give you 56. So we have 4 multiplied by 14 will be giving 56. I can now find the square root of 4 multiplied by square root of 14. So at the end of the day, I have 2 root 14. 2 root 14. Any question?
From me, no, sir. From me, no, sir.
Okay. So we can have that. Another question can also come and ask us to find A dot B. For example, let's say where you have this. That's a degree. And the magnitude of A is 15. Look at this different factor. Then magnitude of B is equals to what? 8. And we have the formula that says A dot B is the same thing as, this is A dot, not A multiplied by B, A dot B, A dot B. So A dot B is the same thing as AB, magnitude of A multiplied by magnitude of B cos theta. That is magnitude of A multiplied by magnitude of B cos theta. We are looking for A dot B. So now we can proceed by saying A dot B is the same thing as, what is A? Magnitude of A is 15 multiplied by 8. Cos what? Cos 30 degree. So, and I have this one to be 120. Remember cos 30, when you take it to square root format, so you have it to be what? Root 3 over 2. Do you still remember? Please go and check it. If you punch a calculator, you have the same thing. But in the radial form, in degree form, when you take it to the radial form, you have this one to be, this will go with, this will be 60. So A dot B will be equals to 60 multiplied by root 3. At the end of the day, A dot B will lead us to 103.92. So they can also ask us to find the angle of a particular problem. So if we ask to find the angle of a particular issue, number 3, let's say, okay, look at this diagram too. They can ask us to do this. Look at this. This is 120 degree, and this is magnitude of A is 10. The magnitude of B is equals to 8. Then they asked me to calculate A dot B equals to, I know that A dot B is equals is the same thing as this. Cos theta. What is A? Magnitude of A is 10 multiplied by magnitude of B is what? 8. Then cos what? 120. I know cos 120, according to the quadrants, you remember the way we solved the other one, we give you minus R. We have 80 cos 120, and which is going to be 80 multiplied by negative 1/2, which is minus 40. That's A dot B. Then we proceed. Let's look at another question. I'm just giving us different questions. If you check your past question, all these questions are there. Find the angle between the two vectors. A, find the angle between the two vectors. A equals to 3i plus 4j. Then B equals to 5i minus 4j. Right. Are we there? Can you hear me, please? Enoch, Musa, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Because I was talking and nobody is talking. Nobody is answering me. Okay, let's continue. So solution, for us to solve this problem, what do I need to do? When you ask to find the angle, remember from the elementary trigonometry, it's the same thing as A dot B equals to AB cos theta. I need theta. That's what I'm looking for, right? That is my angle. Okay. That is my angle. So all I need to do is to get another formula out of this one. For me to make cos theta a subject of formula, what do I need? Divide both sides by AB. So if I divide both sides by magnitude of AB, so I'm going to have A dot B divided by AB equals to AB over A cos theta. So you agree with me, this will go with this. So I will have my cos theta to be equals to A dot B over AB. So any question on that? Also, if I need my theta alone, I can even find it to be my theta equals to arc cos of A dot B over magnitude of A and magnitude of B. That's settled. But now let's go back to our question. Let's go back to our question. Our question says, find the angle between the two vectors, A and vector B. How do we solve this? What are the things we need to do? Now, we first of all need A dot B. A dot B means let the I multiply I, let the J multiply J. That's all. So it's going to be 3 multiplied by 5 plus 4 multiplied by -4. So what do we have? We have 15 minus 16, which is equal to -1. That is our A dot B. Then we need to find the magnitude of A, which is same thing as square root of AS squared plus BS squared, which is same thing as, what is my A? That is talking about here, AB. Would be what? Square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared, which is going to be square root of 25, which is same thing as 5. Oh, sorry. Don't do that. Just do it this way. Square root of 5. Then don't forget, we have to do magnitude of B. Using the same formula. We have it to be 5 squared minus plus minus 4 squared, which is square root of 25 plus 16, which is square root of 41. Then I can go ahead and get my A dot B over magnitude of A and B. So I'm going to have A dot B over magnitude of A, magnitude of B, which is going to be -1 over square root of 25 dot square root of 41, which is same thing as -1 over 5 root 41. Still the same. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So I can now go ahead and look for my theta. What is theta in this case? Remember, we said it there. Our theta is equals to arc cos everything we have here, minus 1 all over 5 square root of 41. So when you punch your calculator very well, you have 91. What? You remember from SOHCAHTOA? Do we still remember SOHCAHTOA? For those of us that passed through secondary school, do we still remember? I know everybody passed through secondary school. I'm just kidding. Do you still remember SOHCAHTOA?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you check your course material in probably chapter 3 or thereabouts, they talk about scalar of two-factor and talking about what we are discussing now. But that's not the issue, because this class is supposed to be a facilitation just to use slide, but I decided not to use slide, to use my pen so that we can both of us be on the same page. And some of those questions they solve there that is not clear, you can lay your hands on some of the example we did in class, and it will help you to grab some of them. Anyway, let's proceed. Let's look at the cross product of two-factor. Cross product of two-factor. They are giving you, if you are asked to solve the cross product of two factors, what does it mean? How do we solve the perpendicular question? How many of us have seen the past question for this course before?
I have seen one.
You've seen one. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. If you can attend all the classes, you will enjoy yourself and you'll be able to solve some of those questions without stress. Cross products of two factors. So, cross product of two factor, it's pretty simple. I'll just have one example, then we'll move on. If you have, let's A equals to 3i plus 5j minus 7k, and our B equals to 2i minus 6j plus 4k. So A cross B, this is cross. A cross B. What does it mean? It simply means I, J, K. It simply means 3, 2, all the I are in the same column. 5 minus 6, all the J are in the same column. And minus 7, 4, they are also the same column. Now, what does it signify? It actually signifies a 3 by 3 matrix. Do you still remember matrix?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you remember how you find your determinant in matrix? We're going to use the same method. Let me quickly recall. Let's just look at this. Recall. We come back to the question. Recall that when you have 2 by 2 matrix that says, let's say A, matrix A, determinant of matrix A. Okay, let's say A, I want to explain something now. A is equals to A11, A12, A21, and A22. This is my A. They ask us to find the determinant of A. What's going to be? The determinant of A will be this for A. So it's going to be A11, A12, A21, A22. So determinant will be this multiplied by this minus this multiplied by this. So which means the determinant of A is equals to A11 multiplied by A22 minus A12 multiplied by A21. So which is going to be A11, A22 minus A12, A21. That's the answer for it. But now, if you have 3 by 3 matrix, let's call it matrix B, A again. Okay. Which is A11, A12, and A13. A21, A22, A23. A31, A32, A33. That's our matrix. Positive minus positive. You have to put this one on top just for you to solve, to be able to solve. So what it simply means is if I'm to pick A11, I said A11 now. This is what we call row. This is what we call column, don't forget. And if I pick A11, the row that I pick A11 will paralyze, and the column will also paralyze. It will remain what? A22, A23, A32, A33. Minus A12, because this is, I will release this one. If I release this one, and I will pick this one now. I will release this column also, because it already moved to the next column. A12 will be what? The row will be paralyzed. The column will also paralyze. It will remain what? Who can tell us?
A21
Thank you. A21.
times. Okay. A21, A23,
Yes.
and A31, A33.
Yes. Plus, you release this one. You pick this. The last one. So you have A13 now, right?
Yes.
This is positive, this is negative. Don't forget from the top. So you have it to be what? A21, A22, A31, A32.
A32.
And that's settled. So at the end of the day, remember when you have 2 by 2, this multiplied by this minus this multiplied by this, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
you have A11 will be this multiplied by this, you have A22, A33 minus A23, A32. That's settled. Minus A12, A21, A33 minus A23 A31 plus A13 A21 A32 minus A22 A31. That's it. So when you can open the brackets, what do we have? When you open the bracket, you have A11, A22, A33 minus A11, A23, A32. Right? Minus. If you open the minus or you close the minus, depends. Just keep your minus there. A12, A21, A33 minus A12, A23, A31 plus A13, A21, A32 minus A13, A22, A31. That's settled. So the same method, we use the same method to solve the cross by cross. We use it to solve this one. You can see this look like a 3 by 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let's go back to our question. I just laid this foundation so that when I'm solving it, it won't look odd to us. So now let's look at it. A cross B. Back to the problem. A cross B, we have I, J, K, positive, negative, positive, right?
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 5 minus 6, minus 7, 4. So I can solve this one by saying, if I pick I now, I will be the one I will pick, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
All the row will be paralyzed. The column will also paralyze. Remain what? 5 minus 6 minus 7, 4.
Seven.
Right. Then minus J, because J is multiplied by negative. So we have what? This cancel, this cancel. I have 3 minus 7, 2, 4. Plus K. This will go with this. I have 3, 5, 2, minus 6. Then we can go ahead and open the brackets. Remember, you cross multiply, right? Minus this. It's still the same thing. I will be what? 5 multiplied by 4 minus 7 multiplied by minus 6, right?
Yes, sir.
Minus J, you have 3 into 4 minus 7 multiplied by 2 plus K, 3 minus 6 multiplied by 6 minus 5 multiplied by 2. Any question? No question.
No questions.
Okay, we have it to be what? I to be 20 minus times minus
Plus.
positive. 7 times 6, 42 minus J, 12 minus times minus positive 14 plus K minus 18 minus 10. Don't forget, I is here. At the end of the day, your final answer will be what? 20 minus 42 minus 22
Minus
I
22.
minus 12 plus 14,
26.
26J plus of, because when you add minus 18 minus 10, minus 28.
minus 28.
Okay. That's your final answer. That's how you solve cross products that has those kind of equation. Any question, please?
No question from my side.
Okay, let's move on. Let's look at the question when they ask us to find projection of a vector. What does it mean? Projection of a vector. Number what? Let's just find the projection. They are there in your past question, and it's also part of the topic we are dealing with, of the vector A equals to I minus 2j plus k on the vector B equals to 4i minus 4j plus 7k. So how do we do it? There are two steps to take here. The first step is solution. Let's first of all find a unit vector in the direction of B. Remember, you have to find a projection of the vector A on the vector B. So let's solve it. Find a unit vector in the direction B. So our B equals to B divided by magnitude of B. You remember the one we did last class? When you are asked to find the unit, that is the what you are asked to find the unit in that direction divided by the magnitude of it. So we have, what is B? Our B is 4i minus 4j plus 7k divided by, remember when you are finding the magnitude, square root of what? Square root of B will be what? B squared plus minus 4 squared plus 7 squared. So at the end of the day, we have 4i minus 4j plus 7k divided by square root of 81. Because when you find this one will be 16 minus plus 16 plus 49 equals 81. So which is, this is equals to 9, right? So our B will now equals to 4 over 9i minus 4 over 9j plus 7 over 9k. That's the meaning. So we have the unit vector. Now, let's now look at the projection of A on the vector B. Projection of A on the vector B, which is same thing as A dot unit B. Don't forget unit vector of B, not capital B now. So it's going to be So it's going to be A dot B equals to, what is our A? I minus 2J plus K dot 4 over 9I minus 4 over 9J plus 7 over 9K. Let I dot I, let J dot J, let K dot K. So it's going to be, I dot I will be, what is the coefficient of I here?
1.
1, thank you. 1 multiplied by 4 over 9, which is I dot I. Remember, I dot I is equals to 1, right? But I dot J is equals to 0. Don't forget that. So you have it plus minus 2 multiplied by minus 4 over 9 plus 1 multiplied by 7 over 9. So what do we have? We have 4 over 9 plus 8 over 9 plus 7 over 9. Everything equals to what? 19 over 9. So when they ask you to solve for projection, look at the question. Let's start again. The question says, find the projection of vector I and J. Vector A on vector B. So that means the one you are finding on, if they said A, B on A, that means you are going to find A, unit vector of A. But in this case, you are finding unit vector of B. And the unit vector of B says B all over magnitude of B. After that, you now dot, find the projection on that unit B. Any question? Any question?
So sorry, sir. On the last line there, you can
Okay.
only carry the coefficients of the IJK
Yes.
and expand it. Then you forget about the IJK from that stage.
Remember, when you are saying IJK, I dot I is 1.
Yes.
So if it is 1, it has nothing to do.
Okay.
All right. Just multiply it in your, just assume that you remember the law that I stated last week, that I dot I is 1 when it comes to dots. I dot J is 0. So in this
Yes,
case,
sir.
I dot I is 1. So 1 multiplied by anything is still the same thing.
Okay, sir.
I don't know whether I've answered that question.
Yes, it's understood, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any other question before we proceed? Okay, let's look at it. How do we evaluate perpendicular? Let's look at this question. If the question give you a question of this, said, determine a unit vector perpendicular to the plane of A equals to 2I minus 6J minus 3K, and B equals to 4I plus 3J minus K. So we're given the plane too, right? But in our own context, the way we solve this one would be, let vector C equals to C1I plus C2J plus C3K. Let this plus C2K be, this is the sign of perpendicular to the plane of A and B. Then C is perpendicular to A and also to B. So when I have this, what comes to my mind is, note that if A dot B equals to 0, and A and B are not non-vector, then A and B are, just a minute. So, sorry for that. And what we are saying here is, if A dot B is equals to 0, and A and B are not non-vector, then A and B are perpendicular. And A and B are perpendicular. Non-vector means they are not zero vector, right? Are perpendicular. Hence, we say that, hence we have C dot A to be equals to, remember your A. You have your A to be what? C now dot A. Remember C dot A. Who can tell us what C dot A will be? And C dot B. How do we do it? Remember, when you are doing dots, 2i multiplied by C1i, that is the meaning of dots. So it's going to be what? 2C1. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Minus what? 6C2 minus 3C3 equals to 0, because we said is equal A dot B is equals to 0. So it's equals to 0. Then we have 4C1 plus 3C2 minus C3 equals to 0. So we can now go ahead and solve this one simultaneously to get our C1 and C2. If you solve it very well, go and solve simultaneous. I'm not going to solve it for you. Solving 1 and 2. Simultaneously, we have C1 to be equals to 1 all over 2 C3, and we have C2 to be equals to minus 1 all over 3 C3. So which implies that our C is equals to C3 into 1 all over 2I minus 1 all over 3J plus K. So remember your C. C is here. This is our C. And if our C is equals to this, then we now say C1 is equals to 1 all over 2 C3. Substitute it back. Then C2 is also negative 1 all over 3. That's why you see 1 over 3 here. C3. And we know C3 to be C3K. Then factorize C3K out. C3 out. So you have everything to be in this form. Then we can now find the direction. Then a unit vector in the direction of C. So remember, it's a unit vector in the direction of C. We can now look at it together. How do we do that? C all over absolute value, the magnitude of C, rather, which is going to be C3 in bracket 1 all over 2I minus 1 all over 3J plus K divided by the square root of, remember you have to square each of them, including C3 squared. Let's square what is inside. We have it to be what? 1 all over 2 squared plus negative 1 all over 3 squared plus 1 all squared. So at the end of the day, what do we have? Who can tell us? If you solve, can we resolve? You can factorize this one out. You know, when I find it, I can find this one. I can say C3 into 1 all over 2I minus 1 all over 3J plus K divided by, I can find the square root of the C3 square out. What do I have? I will have C3 if I find it out. Then I will remain with 1 all over 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Plus 1 all over 9 plus 1. So this C3 will cancel C3. So that one settled. Then I can now resolve what is in the square root. If you resolve what is the square root, what do you have at the end of the day? You have At the end of the day, this one in square root will give you 49 over 36. And which is the same thing as 7 over 6. Because you find the square root of 7, you find the square root of 49 and find the square root of 36. You have 7 over 36. So at the end, you now have 7 over 36 to be 1 all over 2I minus 1 all over 3j plus k over 7 over 6. So what do we have at the end of the day? Anybody? But
We
don't
separate
forget
them.
that when you are finding this, we are having plus or minus, right?
Yes.
At the back. So here we can rewrite this one to be saying 6 multiplied by 1 all over 2. Or let me just, you see what I'm doing? 1 all over 2I minus 1 all over 3j plus k is to divide by 7 over 6, right? So which is going to be 1 over 2I minus 1 all over 3j plus k multiplied by 6 over 7, right? So which is going to be 6 in brackets 1 all over 2I minus 1 over 3j plus k. Everything divided by 7. So if I multiply what is inside with what 6, what do I have? I will have 6 divided by 2I minus 6 divided by 3j plus 6k. Everything divided by 7. Therefore, I'm going to have 3I minus 2j plus 6k divided by 7, divided by 7, divided by 7. Any question? Any question?
It's okay. Let's continue.
Enoch, any question? Abbas Ahmed.
No,
Musa,
sir. It's
any
clear.
question?
It's clear, sir.
Okay. Are we tired? Are we tired?
No.
So the question,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So the question is on the cross products assignment. Said if A is equals to 3I minus J plus 2K, B equals to 2I plus J minus K, C equals to I minus 2J plus 2K. Find A cross B in brackets cross C. You can see. It simply means you first of all calculate A cross B before you now join into A cross C, not together. B, A cross B cross C. Let's see whether we're going to have the same answer for each of them. Just do it separately. And make sure you do it with all your arts. Any question?
No question, sir.
So from next class, we'll be moving to differential, vector differentiation, but let's try as much as possible and solve this one. Don't mix any of these classes, and it will help you, and it will sharpen some of those questions you have in your heart. We answer some of them. So on this note, we'll call it a weekend, and I hope to see you guys. How many of us are able to share this, the class?